Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here. Once again, I am here to talk about the Saints Row reboot. And now I know you're wondering, hey, Marco, you're doing a video game video, wow! But also, hey, Saints Row hasn't even come out yet. How can you do a video on it if it hasn't even come out yet? Well, sadly, well, I guess not really sadly, I will not be getting the game when it comes out for obvious reasons. I mean, let's just start off with the series. I've never played the first one personally. I would like to play it if they would remaster it. It's been really fun playing remastered games that I never played before. I played Modern Warfare 2 for the first time last year. For some reason, I always skipped that one growing up, but then they remastered it, and I played the remastered edition, and it was like, oh, that's cool. I get to finally say that I played that, years and years later. But Saints Row 2, I played that, kinda. My brother, for some reason, when I was like a kid, he would let me play Saints Row 2 all the time. And we would take turns, and it wasn't that bad in terms of violence and shit, but it's just funny remembering that's how it all started, just playing with my brother in his room, Saints Row 2 on his Xbox 360. And then a couple years later, it was just me with my PS3, and I got a special edition of Saints Row 3, and it was phenomenal. I mean, what an amazing game experience. It was just so fun and so cool and so action-packed, and I love the characters, and, it was something else. It was something that, oh wow, I wish more games like this would come out. Because it was just so fun, it wasn't serious like GTA. GTA is a lot more serious and a lot more realistic, and Saints Row is just a lot more fun. Which I know will upset some people. I'm not saying I prefer Saints Row over GTA. I'm just saying, how you compare them. Of course, I've only played one GTA all the way through, which is obviously GTA 5. I've played that one 3 times because that's the only one on the fucking PS4, and I don't want to have to buy the 4th one. But anyways, and then Saints Row 4 came out, and I skipped it because I thought that it looked stupid. I thought that the whole alien plot was kind of dumb. It was kind of okay, this is a little over the top. But then years later, in fact, 2 years ago or so, I played it finally on PS Now, and it was actually pretty good. I would say it was pretty entertaining. They even had this really cool feature where you could have Nolan North's voice as the main character, and it was oh, sweet, sign me up. Nathan Drake's voice? Hell yeah. I'll take that over some generic guy's voice or some generic girl's voice. And so, overall, I would say that this is actually a pretty damn good series. There's only one that people think is, quote, bad, and that's Saints Row 4. But even Saints Row 4, I would say that's a good game. It's fun. It did feel like it could have been a lot better, obviously. It felt okay, the whole game takes place in a simulation and all that stupid shit. But, obviously now, I bet people are looking back and are I really shouldn't have criticized Saints Row 4 because what we got now? We got SJW Saints Row. Ugh. We got Soy Boy Saints Row. We got Twitter feminazi, pronouns in the bio type of Saints Row characters. We got this stupid setting in the middle of the desert somewhere. Oh shit, there's a there's a possum just running up on the porch. That was creepy. It just like ran out in front. I was like, what the fuck is that? That's funny. It's so fast. Sorry about that. But it looks terrible. It looks so bad. It looks like the Charlie's Angels reboot that Elizabeth Banks did. Like, that's what I could compare it to. It looks like Fortnite. It looks just terrible. And, let's talk about the main characters. You got the guy who has his shirt off all the time, and when they did this video, they're like, he has his shirt off all the time. I don't know why. And it's like, that's just bizarre. Gross. And of course, I would have my character like shirtless sometimes, I think. I can't remember. I would always make my Saints Row character look like the Joker. And that's what I would do personally for some reason, because the Joker causes chaos, I guess. And then and so he's trash. Fuck him. Fuck his character. And he likes to cook. Apparently, this guy, he just loves to cook. And that's his character. Like, wow, that's really interesting for a Saints Row game. Wow, that's really something we wanted. And then you have the leader, a woman, of course, because 2021, and she's this very boyish looking woman who has this typical SJW haircut where, you have the shaved head and then you have the comb over. She's probably a lesbo too. They just haven't revealed that part yet. Screw that bitch. I don't want to play as her. I don't want to see her character. I don't care about her at all. She looks like a parody character. She looks trash. And then you got the black nerd stereotype, which, I would think that black people, don't you guys think that that's insulting whenever they take you guys and they make you guys into these, like, soy boy cucks with, like, these glasses and, like, hey, I'm the black nerd. Hey, I'm the little beta guy. Like they did in Bumblebee. They fucking, they just completely rip your guys' balls off when they put you guys in games and movies. Like, it's sickening. Like, they could have had a good black character, but instead they just had this nerd, this guy who's like, he's like, hey, I'm the nerdy guy and I have glasses. It's like, are we still doing that? Those are the characters you beat up and kill. Those aren't the characters that you play as. And then you got the girl who can drive really well, which I guess that's like to be the opposite of the stereotype that women can't drive. I guess it's like the opposite for some, like, I don't know. These characters look like they were just designed by people on Twitter, and they're just trash characters. And I would never want to play as any of these people. I would never want to work with any of these people. These are just gross characters. Like, ugh. These aren't my Saints Row characters, that's for damn sure. I mean, that's another thing. Just look at the original Saints Row characters. Look at Johnny Gat and Donnie and, all those other ones. What was that? What was the woman? Shanti. They look like cool characters, and they're cool looking. They're actual nice characters. And, they had this hilariously embarrassing quote where they're like, they're saying like the Saints Row games were for their time, and that, you can't do that anymore. You can't do Saints Row anymore. And it's like, it's just sickening, this era that we live in, this SJW PC woke era where it's like, oh, we can't do a good game anymore because it's 2021. We can't do a game where there's white men in the main roles anymore because it's 2021. And it's just so sickening. It's like, okay, you're not gonna make a good game, then fuck you. I'm not buying your stupid game. I'm not gonna waste my money on your game that you made with this. I mean, let's talk about, they talked about making the story too, which was really embarrassing as well. I mean, this was the ultimate embarrassment, to be honest. Like, I was genuinely embarrassed for these people, that they were showing this game off like it was some sort of a next level Saints Row reboot. It looks like something that you could wipe your ass with, because it's just straight up toilet paper for a game. It looks, as I said, it looks like Fortnite, and it looks like a cartoon, and it takes place in the middle of the desert for some reason. And, it could be cool, honestly, if you had a desert setting, because something that I didn't like about the original Saints Row games was how, gray everything was, and how everything looked the same, and how sometimes, it would kind of like give me a headache because everything looked the same, because it's all this, generic cityscape. But then there would be some cool places, like I remember that place with the neon red lights. I can't remember what that place was. I don't remember what it was called, so I can't say what it was. But they were talking about the story and saying, like, they thought that this was like the most creative thing they could do, and they wanted to make the best Saints Row game yet. And I was like, yeah, you gotta be kidding me. And, they were talking about diversity, and they're talking about all that kind of stuff. And, it just makes me sick. Nobody asked for this in Saints Row. Saints Row is about gangsters. It's not about diversity. It's not about agendas. It's not about, culture. It's about gangsters. It's about crime. It's not about your SJW Twitter agendas. And so I just, this just looks, this is probably the worst looking game I've ever seen this whole year, honestly. And I've seen some bad looking games. There's tons of new games. Like, every franchise now too, every franchise is almost dead now. Like, you got the Call of Duty franchise. They ruined that. What's coming out with that? Call of Duty Vanguard. You got Battlefield, which was like dead to begin with. Oh shit, the possum's coming at me. Hi, possum! It just got scared. It ran away now. And then, I guess Far Cry is still around. Resident Evil's going on. But then you have, like, Dead Rising. Where's Dead Rising? You know what I mean? Like, Saints Row is just at an all-time low now because of this constant woke agenda thing. And, I just, these people, for some reason, they just haven't gotten the message yet. Get woke, go broke. I am not purchasing or supporting this game, and I advise everyone to follow my lead and do the same, because it's just, for some reason, these dipshits aren't going to get it. And so as long as they aren't getting it, I'm not supporting it. I'll just go back and play the original Saints Rows. I'll go back and play Saints Row 3, Saints Row 2, Saints Row 4. I'll go back and watch YouTube videos of Saints Row 1. Just as long as I'm not playing a soy boy or a lesbo black girl with shave haircut, awful look. Just as long as I'm not playing as those losers. Because these characters look like a bunch of losers. And just the story itself was marketed as this, like it's like about a startup company, and it's like, wow, that's really like like what does that have to do with Saints Row? That's what I have to ask. Like, you couldn't have made a this like a different thing. You couldn't have said like this is a Saints Row spinoff about like a group of people who, like, you know, it's kind of like Saints Row. You know why? Because no one would have bought it. No one would have bought it. I wouldn't have bought it. It looks like a cartoon. It looks like Fortnite. It looks boring and goofy and stupid. I mean, their cinematic trailer was embarrassing and cringeworthy. It was like this stupid deal gone wrong action chase sequence, and it looked retarded. It does not look like something that Marco would want to play. You know, Marco likes to play good games, and I hope that everyone else does as well. You know, I hope you guys don't, you know, it's what happened with Last of Us 2. I said, you know, I really don't have anything to play. I just want something to play, so I'm gonna get Last of Us 2, and I'm just gonna. And I got it, and it was just so horrible. And it's like, guys, don't torture yourselves because you're bored. Don't let them win and let them, you know, feed into your, you know, if you're bored and you just buy a game to buy it. You know, don't do that. Don't waste your money on these SJW games. Let them fail. Because if they fail, then maybe this company will go under, and as a YouTube commenter said, a company that actually wants to make a Saints Row game can get it. You know, we're at a point now where we need to stop giving our money to these people as long as they're going to pander and make complete garbage that nobody wants. I mean, nobody asked for this, too. Like, you could have made so many Saints Row games, like, so many ideas. They even said in the video, these dipshits said, that, like, they've just done every idea possible, and this was the only thing left. And it's like, really? Really? Like, this is the best that you got? This is the idea that you had that, like, you know, I could think of, like, 20 ideas off the top of my head. I mean, I bet that all the Saints Row fans could come on here and be like, you know, hey, I think they should have done this. I think they should have done this. And they're all better ideas than your shitty SJW Saints Row reboot. And they had this quote, too, where they said that they're not going to back down on the game. And it's like, nobody thinks that a company that is selling a game is going to back down, quote unquote. You know, it's just that, you know, people aren't going to buy it. And so they're voicing their opinion that it's fucking garbage. So, you know, they cannot back down all they want. But I'm not going to back down either because I'm not supporting that shit. So if you guys like this video, you know, it was kind of pointless video, to be honest. But give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe because I will be making more gaming videos. And honestly, I just felt like I had to make this one because I hate this so much. And I know that I don't sound angry, and it's probably because I'm so worn out from yesterday when I saw the American Horror Story finale, and I about destroyed everything in the house, and just, I almost had a breakdown because of how bad it was. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.